So, good day everyone. So, still this is Mr. Librian Viladra, and I am here to show you some of the solutions in our problems that is something confusing, okay? Or there is a need for clarification in order for us to really understand the equation of the circle. Okay, so the first thing that we have to understand first is to know what is the standard form of the equation of the circle. So the standard form of the equation of the circle is given by h minus h squared plus the quantity of y minus k squared equals r squared. So for which or in which h and k is our center and r is our radius. So for example, find the equation of the circle with center at 2, -1 and tangent to the line x plus y equals 5. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is, or the very easy way, okay, the easiest way to understand this concept is to let us imagine, or let us at least conceptualize what would be the illustration of this problem. Okay, so we all know that the center is at 2, -1. So the first thing that you have to do is to illustrate. Okay, so in the illustration of this problem, so we have the center at 2, -1. So this is our center. Okay, so that the next thing that you have to do is to graph x plus y equals 5. Okay, so how are you going to graph this? So make a table of values. Okay, so let's say for instance, this is our x and this is our y. So if the value of x is 0, so takpan natin to. The value of y equals 5. Or if the value of y is 0, the value of our x is 5. Okay, so then we can now graph 0, positive 5, and we have 5, 0, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so then connect these two. Okay, so this is our x plus y equals 5, in which this circle is actually tangent. It's actually tangent. I'm not good in drawing, so you have to understand that this line is tangent to this circle. So that would be the illustration of this problem. So the question is, how are we going to find the equation of the circle? Okay, so don't be lost, because we have to bear in our minds that if we are going to get the equation of the circle, we have to comply with two conditions. The first one is the center is given, and the second one is that the radius is given. So in our particular example, this one, the center is at 2, -1, and we need to find the missing properties, or the missing property of the circle, which is the radius. So how are we going to find the radius? So we are given here the center, and we all know that this center, if we're going to put a segment from this center to this tangent line, so this is actually our radius. Okay, so to find for the length of this segment, we need to find the distance. Okay, so from that, we have to find the distance between the center, which is 2, -1, and to the line, to the equation of the tangent line, which is x plus y equals 5. So it is better if we're going to translate this into the general form. So the general form of this equation is x plus y minus 5 equals 0. Then we can now find the equation, the distance or the radius. So how to find the radius of, or how to find the distance between these two? Okay, so that is a point and a line. So to find for the distance, we have d is equal to ax of 1 plus by sub 1 plus c all over the square root of a square plus b square. Okay, so we neglect the positive negative here because if we are going to get the distance, we are already getting the undirect. Okay, this is undirected distance. So we put absolute value so that we will not be confused the value if that is positive or negative. And if we're going to get the distance, undirected distance, we always neglect negative. Okay, since we are looking for the length and there's no negative length. Okay, so from here, let us substitute what A stands for. A stands for the coefficient, the numerical coefficient of our linear term. So we have A, this one is in our, okay, so let us go back in our linear function. That is AX plus BY plus C equals 0. Okay, or AX plus BY equals C, in which A is our numerical coefficient. So from here, in our line, x plus y minus 5 equals 0, we all know that the numerical coefficient of our x is 1. So that means A is equal to 1, B equals 1, and C equals negative 5, which is the constant. Okay, then let us put this into our equation. So we have A, which is 1 times our x sub 1. This is, supposedly this is our h and our k. But in our Cartesian plane, we all know that h and k, we just use this variable in order for us to understand the shipment or the shifting of the points horizontally and vertically. But we are pertaining on the same, okay, the same value or the same constant variable. So this is our x, and that is 2 plus our b is 1 times our y sub 1 is negative 1. Our c is this one, negative 5, all over the square root of our a is 1 squared plus our b is 1 squared. Okay? Simplifying further, we have 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1 minus 5 all over the square root of 1 square is 1 plus 1 square is 1. Okay, again, simplifying further, we have 2 minus 1 is 1 minus 5 is negative 4 all over. We have square root of 1 plus 1 is 2. So as you can see, we have here negative value. If we have here negative value, we have to neglect negative. So we put this, we put absolute value. So the distance will be 4 over the square root of 2. Okay? Or rationalizing the denominator, let us multiply the numerator by square root of 2 and the denominator by square root of 2. This is the rationalization process. So our D will be 4 the square root of 2 all over. Square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is the square root of 4. And the square root of 4 is 2. And then 4 divided by 2, we can cancel this. That will be 2. So the distance will be 2 the square root of 2. So this distance to the square root of 2, actually, we refer to this as the radius. That is 2 the square root of 2 units. Now, we have now the radius and we have now the center. Okay, so the center is at 2, negative 1, and the radius is 2 the square root of 2 units. So what we're going to do is to find the equation of the circle given these properties. So we have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So we have x minus our h is, this one is our h and this one is our k. So h is 2 squared plus y minus our k is negative 1. So we have, okay, so we have to change the parentheses by this one. Negative 1 squared equals our r is 2 the square root of 2 squared. So we have x minus 2 square plus y, negative times negative is positive 1 square, is equal to, we have 2 the square root of 2 square. And this equation is what we call the standard form of the equation of the circle. So simplifying or expanding further, we will get, or we will have our general form. So for this one, so let us simplify this. So we have x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus, simplify this, we are just only expanding binomial square. So we have y squared plus 2y plus 1. So how are we going to simplify binomial square? We have three steps. Number 1, square the first term, and that is x squared is x squared. Number 2, okay, so we have twice the product of the first term and the second term. So we have twice, that is 2 times x is 2x times negative 2 is negative 4x. Okay, plus, then the third step is square the last term. That is negative 2 squared is positive 4. Okay, so that is equal to, okay, how are we going to square this 2 square root of 2? Okay, so we have to square, this is what we call the square of a product. Okay, square of a product is that 2 square is 4 times square root of 2 square is 2. Okay, so let us simplify. So we have x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 2y. We have 4 plus 1 equals 5, which is equal to 4 times 2 equals 8. So we have x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 2y. Okay, this is positive 5. Liban natin is positive 8 minus 8 is equal to 0. So we have x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 2y. This is 5 minus 8, negative 3 equals 0. So this is now our general form of the equation of the